Friends, welcome you all with all gratitudes, salutations, appreciations, congratulations, wishes, and prayers for this our everyday Jnana Yajna, everyday Tapasya, everyday sadhana of studying Yoga Vaashishtha Maha Ramayana and making sublime and deeper our intellects to understand the presence of the reality, the truth, and understand that alone is real. All else, it is we value it, therefore it is there to bind us. Through this process, slowly, from the world is the goal to the realization of the self is the goal. To that conviction, we slowly travel. Once the conviction grows, then only two things remain: knowing what sadhana to do and do that sadhana. In this way, let it take its own time, we give the time. But we will be relentless in our effort to try to study Shastra and through that understand. The one of the reason is, though in 1 2 classes we study Vedanta, throughout the day in all our other activities, the samsaritva is involved by us so much in it that those samskaras, those habits also are pulling us away from this spiritual truth. That is a fact. Explanations are plenty. Then solutions also we know that only one ichha we have to have, give up all other ichhas and pursue only one that. Let that spashtata come to us very soon. 32,000 shloka wala Yoga Vasishta Maharamayam. We are studying from first mantra onwards. Third Utpatthi Prakranam 21. Sarga we are in that Leelopakhyanam. Leela Vishranthi Padesha. How nicely Mother Saraswati ji is revealing to us so many sublime knowledges. In this way, through every Upakhyana, Sri Vaashishtha ji, while answering to questions of Rama, gives so much of knowledge to all the audience. Like in today's world, all the talks, programs are video recorded and then are made available. So too, those great discussions between such saints like Vasishtha and Rama or Krishna and Arjuna or Shuka and Parikshit, all these are given the book form by the great Vyasaji and then other rishis, so that they are available for the later on generations to pursue. Let us see what is there for us today in this 21st Sarga. Maybe today, tomorrow, we'll be doing around 20 mantras are there, I believe. Now, let us do our invocation for 2 minutes. ॐ ॐ ॐ ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहैः ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्मविद्यासम्प्रदायकर्तृभ्यो वंशऋषिभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः ओम श्रीराम राम रामेति रमे रामे मनोरमे सहस्रनाम तत्तुल्यं राम नाम वरानने श्री राम परब्रह्मणे नमः वशिष्ठादि ऋषिभ्यो नमः संकल्पः तेषां सर्वेषां कृपानुग्रहेण उपनिषद योगवासिष्ठ महारामायण ब्रह्मात्मैक्यबोधेन अस्मिन् क्षणे एव मोक्ष कैवल्य प्राप्त्यर्थं श्रुति स्मृति पुराण इतिहास संतवांग्मयोक्त साध्य साधनानुभव सिद्ध्यर्थम तत्रोक्त ऋषि मुनि गुरु देवता दर्शनानुग्रह अनुभव प्राप्त्यर्थम सनातन धर्म से विश्वव्याप्ति विश्व आध्यात्मिक प्रगत्यर्थम धर्म संस्थापकानां नित्य निरंतर दिग्विजयार्थम श्रीराम मंदिरवत् शिव कृष्णादि मंदिरादीनां पुनरवाप्ति तेषु निरन्तरशास्त्र अध्ययनादीनां द्वारा भारतवर्षस्य सनातनधर्मस्य बाह्याभ्यन्तरशत्रुविघ्नसमूल निर्मूलनपूर्वक भारतवर्षे विश्वेश अस्माद् क्षणादारभ्य वैदिकहैन्दवसंस्कृतेः धर्ममोक्षपुरुषार्थानां सुसम्प्रतिष्ठा अवाप्त्यर्थम् अस्यां कक्षायाम् आगतानां सङ्कल्पितसत्कर्मसु दिग्विजयार्थं तेषां हृदये परब्रह्मादीनां प्रति भक्त्यादीनां द्वारा जन्मसाफल्यार्थम् अनेक शास्त्राणाम अध्ययन साधना प्रयत्न मध्ये श्री वाल्मीकि महर्षि विरचित श्री राम वशिष्ठ संवाद रूप श्री योग वासिष्ठ महारामायण स्मृति प्रकरण मोक्ष शास्त्रस्य पारायणम अध्ययनम साधना प्रयत्नम मोक्षार्थम वयं सर्वे करिष्यामहे। मंगलाचरण श्लोकाः। ओम यतः सर्वाणि भूतानि प्रतिभान्ते स्थितानि च यत्रैवोपशमं यान्ति तस्मै सत्यात्मने नमः। ज्ञाता ज्ञानं तथा ज्ञेयं द्रष्टा दर्शन दृश्यभूः कर्ता हेतुः क्रिया यस्मात् तस्मै ज्ञप्त्यात्मने नमः। स्फुरन्ति सीकरा यस्मात् आनन्दस्याम्बरे वनौ सर्वेषां जीवनं तस्मै ब्रह्मानन्दात्मने नमः। दिवि भूमौ तथाकाशे बहिरन्तश्च मे विभुः यो विभात्यवभासात्मा तस्मै सर्वात्मने नमः। ओम सत्यं ज्ञानमनन्तमेकमजरं नित्यं विभुं शाश्वतं प्रत्यग्ब्रह्मरसायनं सुखघनं पूर्णं परं पावनं स्वात्मज्योतिरनादिमध्यनिधनं मायाविलासैर्मुहुः विश्वाकारमपास्तमायमभयं वन्दे विशुद्धं पदं। ज्ञानादेवात्मनो मोक्षः न तु कर्मसमाधिभिः अज्ञातोऽसौ स्वसदृश्यं सृजत्येवेति कीर्त्यते। ॐ तस्मै श्रीगुरवे वसिष्ठमुनये नित्यं नमस्कुर्महे। विश्वामित्रमुनिं शरण्यमनघं भूयो नमस्याम्यहं। तस्मै वाल्मीकये श्रीगुरुतमगुरवे भूरिभावैरनताः स्मः। पूर्णानन्दस्वभावः स्वजनहितकृते माययोपात्तकायः कारुण्यादुद्दिदीर्षुर्जनमनवरतं मोहपङ्के निमग्नम् आविश्यान्तर्वसिष्ठं बहिरपि कलयन् शिष्यभावं वितेने यः संवादेन शास्त्रामृतजलधिममुं रामचन्द्रं प्रपद्ये। ओम श्री रामचंद्र परब्रह्मणे नमः। वशिष्ठादि ऋषिभ्यो नमः। श्री योग वासिष्ठ महारामायण शास्त्रम तृतीय उत्पत्ति प्रकरणम लीलोपाख्याने लीला विश्रांति उपदेशो नाम एक विंशतितम सर्गः। श्री वशिष्ठ उवाच श्रीदेवी उवाच। हाउ फार वी हैव सीन मित्रों, इफ यू जस्ट वांट टू सी इट कि see, she gave the example, Mother Saraswati. Sankalpa Vyoma Vruksha. Show the Vruksha in my thought. Isn't it? No wall goes through it. It doesn't go through any wall. It doesn't break anything. It is only thought. In the same way are our dehas also. They are not sthula like yours. They are deha for namesake, for us to present ourselves. Other than that, everything is Divya Chetanamaya only. Therefore, like you have to detach your identity with this Deha and then come to that Aitvayika Sthiti. I need not, because I am already in that stage. तो हम वहां जा रहे हैं, तो यहाँ से एक बंदा निकला, इसको पिकअप करना है. So this fellow need not go back to come with him. He is already there. This person has to come, then he will go with. In the same way, I am already in that state. Therefore, Shuddha Eka Sattva Nirmanam Chid Rupasya Eva Tat Kila. See, that Shuddha Sattva Chidrupa is our Sharira. And Pratibhanam Ataha Tasmat Parasmat Vidyate Mana. Pratibhanam is it's such a vague appearance only. This Rupanama-ness of ours. Therefore, in essence, Parasmat Vidyate Manak. From that Paramatma Tattva, the difference for this Sharira of mine is very, very micro minute. Because through the Jnana and through Yoga Abhyasa, we are always in that sthiti. We don't lose the Jnana and become Ajnani. We don't do the wrong Abhyasa to become Stula like you all have become. Therefore, Saha Ayam Etadrushaha Deha Nainam Santyajayami. I am of this body, therefore, like you, I need not give up and reach to that level. So, Anena eva tamapnomi desham gandham eva anilaha. So, that desha of Brahmana Brahmani with deha only I can reach as effortlessly as the gandha taken by the anila. So, you are the gandha, I am anila. We can both go just like that. That is the idea. Then the point is what? Hmm. She may ask ki, how I can see even after going beyond this sharira that loka. She says once you detach from this zone of very subtle thought, once you detach from this zone of reality and attachment to the stula deha, you enter into such ativayika sukshma deha. There you can mix your antakarana mind with the antakarana of that Brahmana, and thus to that loka you can go and see. That merger is like what? Yatha jalam jalena, agnina agnihi, vayuna anilaha. Like the water merges in water, fire in fire, and the vayu in the vayu. Milati evam ataha dehaha dehair anyair manomayahi. That's why when through yoga sadhana we get the catch of the chitta, we do the niyantrana of it, we can identify with the other stula sukshma shariras too, other sukshma shariras too, and we can know. That's how yogis know what is there in the chitta of others. That is the meaning of in Taittiriya Upanishad. Annamayam atmanam upasankramya, pranamayam atmanam upasankramya, manomayam atmanam upasankramya is that I transcend my Annamaya and come to my Pranamaya. And this Annamaya of mine I use in service of total Annamaya. And thereafter, from Pranamaya I come to Manomaya. This Pranamaya I use in service of the total. And the Manomaya I shift into Vijnana. This mind you know for the total. In that way, my Veshti Upadhis, I am merging the gross in subtler. And these my Upadhis, I am tuning or merging with the total. Then I come to know it. Na? Like I am looking at an organization from distance, maintaining my own individuality. What is in that organization, I will never know. But when I take membership, become active, involved in it. So, what's the goal of that organization, motto? All the things will I come to know or not? In the same way, the main point is what? Ki milat evam ataha deha dehai anyaihi manomayahi. So this manomaya deha can mix with the other manomaya dehas because they are at the one level. That is why you will be able to see. And you asked, I want to see. I said, with this way you can see. You are asking how? Because this mana milati with that mana. Isn't it? And yogis, the great jnanis, they have it. But then they don't want to mix with or know about the mind of others because in all minds, what is there generally known. So what is special to know? One is if it's immature, if it has vasanas, it is with all negative vikara. अब क्या है जानने का जरूरत? Isn't बता कोई special जानना ही नहीं. Because generally what happens is known. Therefore the yogis, though they are capable, they won't. Lot of examples in the world that can be given. They are capable. Like the guru, they is capable of a shishya's mana, knowing. He will not know everything. He only knows the problematic aspects and he addresses. Even that also he doesn't know. He knows common problems. He gives a solution. You apply it, you come out of it. There's nothing for me to know. कोई के लोग तो कहते हैं भगवान मुझे जानना ही नहीं किसी का मन। मन का अर्थ ही वृत्तियां हैं, वो पंचवृत्तियां होते हैं, यू नो, प्रमाण विपरे विकल्प निद्रा स्मृति। आई नो दैट, व्हाट इज देयर फॉर मी टू स्पेशली नो? दैट इज द थिंग. Like if you ask me, knowing about politics, what will I know? Some honest people are there, they seek power to serve. The other people dishonest, they seek power for selfishness. अब मुझे उसमें जाकर देखना क्या है ना? Go and see in a hotel if there. What is there to, for me to go and see in the kitchen of the hotel? If the cooking staff, if the management are concerned about the health of the people and concerned about policy of properly serving, then maintain the neatness, cleanliness of the kitchen as well as the quality of the products or the items they use. Those who don't have that concern, वो वहाँ चिपकली घूम रहा है, वो कॉकरोच घूम रहा है, they don't bother. What is there for me to know special about it? सड़े हुए सब्जियां वहाँ डालेंगे वो लोग, वो क्या कहे उसमें, वो इट्स ऑलरेडी known, no? What specially for, if I'm not, if I'm a kitchen checking inspector, then I may go. अगर मेरे को क्या जरूरत है? It's a very clear thing, it is known. है ना, व्हाट सॉर्ट ऑफ ऑयल्स दे यूज एटसेट्रा, ये सब क्या, थोड़ा कॉमन सेंस है तो पता चलता है, लाइक दैट. एनी एग्जांपल, व्हाट एग्जांपल कम्स इन माइंड, व्हाई इट कम्स इवन आई डोंट नो. सो आइडिया इज व्हाट, मिलति एव मनः, दैट इज व्हाट. एंड वी नीड नॉट वरी, लाइक द डॉक्टर्स नो एवरी पार्ट ऑफ आवर बॉडी बिकॉज दे हैव स्टडीड. अब उनके यहाँ शर्माने की क्या जरूरत है? ही नोस एवरीथिंग. Anatomy, physiology. First thing taught to him is that only. Now, what do you feel about him? Feel shy in front of him? उससे बात तो नहीं बनता ना. He will check and give medicine. So to a guru knows in and out of our antakarana, and nothing to feel shy about it. The anatomy, physiology of the personality of the people he knows. So what are probable negativities they know. Outwardness they know. So they are the doctors like that. सारे देवता में सब जानते हैं, उसमें कोई विशेष इमोशनल फीलिंग होने की जरूरत नहीं. दैट्स द आइडिया. दिस इज अ पॉइंट डिस्कस व्हिच इज नॉट देयर इन दिस टेक्स्ट, बट जस्ट एज अ कंटिन्यूएशन फॉर दिस थॉट ऑफ मनः देह, मनोमय देह, मनोमय देहे मिलति. For that, this is expression. Now, what about me then? Why I cannot merge in you, or why you can't take me into you and we can both together? I need not do that निर्विकल्प स्थिति and go beyond this शरीर. ऐसा क्यों नहीं हो सकता? है ना? The answer is नहीं पार्थिवता संवित एति अपार्थिव संविदा एकत्वं कल्पना शैल शैलयोः क्वाहतिर्मितः. See, नहीं पार्थिवता संवित एति अपार्थिव संविदा एकत्वम. एकत्वम न एति. The Parthiva Samvit means the consciousness conditioned by the Prithvyadi Panchamahabhuta made Sharira cannot mix with the consciousness unconditioned by Prithvyadi Panchamahabhuta and their made body. So that is Parthiva Samvita, the Aparthiva Samvita. They cannot be becoming one. Therefore, I cannot carry you that way. Any example you can give to make it clear? See, Kalpana Shaila Shailayoho. There is a Kalpana Shila, a stone or mountain in your mind, Kalpana. And there is a Stula Shila in front of you. Maybe you are traveling somewhere apart. अब ये कल्पना शैला और वो शैल का दोनों का कभी मिलन या टकराव हो सकता है क्या? There are different levels, no? So कल्पना शैला शैलयोहो. So कल्पना का शिला और शिला का क्वा हतिर, दोनों कहीं ठोकर या टकरा सकते हैं क्या? मितः परस्परम नहीं हो सकता ना. Think about any example. Here kalpana shila shaila diya. So we can think about in our own mind there is a road. The gross car I am driving. This car cannot give a dash to that road divider in my mind. Isn't it? Or in the mind a car is traveling in me. That car cannot hit a person who is physically there. In the same way, Parthiva Samvito, Aparthiva Samvito. Parthiva means पृथ्वी से बना हुआ, जो पंचमहाभूत से बना हुआ शरीर, उसका संवित means संवित projected like the पृथ्वी now, and the consciousness is conditioned by giving reality to this panchabhautika deha. You are in that state. I am not in that state. Therefore, neither I can pull you to merge in me, nor you can merge in me yourself. That's how, as it is, we cannot go. That's the idea. So, nahi partivata samvideti partha samvida ekatvam kalpana shailashilaya kwa hatir mitaha. They won't hit each other in that way. Okay. Then why our shariras are this way parthivatmaka? What is our original sharira? Are we like you also? That is a beautiful question, na? As if Leela is asking. Mother Saraswati is answering it, guessing that question, or knowing what should be told as the next thought. She says this very powerful mantra where we stopped yesterday, Chauvanma mantra. It is said, Ativashiha evayam twadrushaihi chitta dehakaha adhi bhautikata buddhya gurhitaha chirabhavanat. This is the most important thing to be caught. First point is Twadrushaihi. Twadrushai means of the beings like you all. Chitta Dehakaha. The Chitta Deha Ativahika Eva. It is Sukshma Ativahika like us only. लेकिन क्या हुआ आदि भौतिकता बुद्धिया in that through the Panchamahabhuta sequence the adi bhautikata is projected sthulata. After the projection buddhya it is convincingly accepted, then grihitaha, then it is accepted. So first one adi bhautikata projected, second buddhya it is called as understood, grihitaha accepted, chira bhavanat, for long time that bhavana has been maintained. Otherwise, each of you, whatever stula sharira you have, that is with bhavana it is stula, but within it, as a substratum of it, is your ativahikata only is there. Okay, in that ativahikata, what are the things that are there? Core mein pure consciousness. Little outer to that, the contour is there. Within that, the three gunas are there. Then triguna made be attentive. Vrutyatmaka deha. All of their vrityatmaka deha. Then it is solidified through the Panchamahabhuta and Panchikarana, etc., with which now you are identifying, and that practice has become so long done every day that you take yourself to be now Ati Bhautika only. This tells us that for some lives, when we do the practice, that the Sthula Deha is not real, it is nothing but Ativahika, then the Sthula Deha ta we transcend. We express through this only, but not as we have the Sthulata. Now we experience. The yogis are like that. वो लोग भी हमारे तरह चलते हैं. If you weigh them, they also will be showing that 60-70 kg weight like us. These is for our parameters. But for the yogi, he doesn't feel this body is Stula Pancha Mahabhautika. He has gone to the subtler causal level of this Sharira. The subtle cause for this is what? Ativahikata. So he is, by practice for many lives, reached to that level. तो देखने वाले को स्थूल देह की तरह दिखता है, but for him he knows it is सूक्ष्म only. You understood it? स्थूल रूप में एक्सप्रेस करते हुए भी the स्थूलता is not experienced. Expressing स्थूल रूपना is for the onlooker, for the लौकिक व्यवहार. Beautiful state of evolution, no? But main thing to understand is Adi Bhautika Buddhya Gruhitaha Chirabhavanat. It's only in the buddhi that this Adivautika Sharira is, and it is real, and we accept it so, and the whole life and many lives we do the bhavana that only. Along with that, through this Stula Sharira, whatever, The prarabdha, we have to have the bhoga of it, of sukha dukkha, that is there. Therefore, that compels me. Like I have to have a pain. That pain through the injury. Injury can happen to the hand. Therefore, the hand has to be there, caught up in that door, and that hand is thula, that has to be there, and I have to identify with it under the compulsion that I have to have my prarabdha, the pain of my hand being crushed in that door. An example. है ना? राइट नहीं? लाइक द ग्रेट महात्मास, तो उनको भी चोट लगती है, वो कुछ काट रहे हैं, हाँ उंगली को लग जाता है चक्कू, so blood comes. So that blood coming, that pain they go through, because at the upadhi level unko that pain it has to happen, but they won't identify with it, they remain as sakshi to that. But to the prarabdha that has to happen, that they allow, they don't interfere, because the prarabdha has to get exhausted. That's the rule of the universe. Therefore some will have some physical strokes, body paralysis, or any of the organs of the body suffering. They all go through it. No, oto they adhika prarabdha. So that pain also they see, but they don't suffer. Up to the mind level, the pain. They know, okay, that thing happened to the body, identifying the body, this mind is feeling that pain. So so feeling the pain. To the pain and to the thing that happened to the body, I am a sakshi. I am not identifying with it to suffer. Pain is different from suffering. दर्द होता है लेकिन दुख नहीं होता. Dard is the body, dukkha to the mind when we identify with it. Examples. This is all will possible when this Stula Deha Tadatma, when we transcend. And that, through Vedanta, the subject matter has to be understood, then we have to keep on practicing it. That's all called yoga sadhanas. Shuru karna hai humko. Like mother told her, through yoga abhyasa sadhana, go beyond Deha Tadatma. In today's world of Kali Yuga, everything is Deha Sambandhi only. And we too want all Deha comforts, Deha Sukha, Deha Bhoga. Therefore, wherever they are available, we are stuck up there. See, in that last text of Yoga, Taravali, in that last but one sloka, what Shankara Bhagavan said, when will I go to that Sri Shaila Shrunga Kuhara and sit there for meditation in realizing this inner samvit? When I am doing that, all the creepers, make their growth around my body, and the birds make their ghosla in my ears. What is the meaning of that? Is this only that I go beyond the Deha Tadatmya. So only when we go to those places where Deha the Tadatmyata is reduced, that we can go inside. That's why all the Punya Kshetra, Tirtha Kshetra, Varnanas are done in our Purana, and we are urged to go there, especially during our last days of life, because let us say काशी में गया हूँ, तो वहां शिव विश्वनाथ भगवान का दर्शन करते हुए, घंटे का आवाज सुनते हुए, मंत्र पढ़ते हुए, I am in that mood of devotion, then this body I transcend, then that sadhana has happened in me more uh, by the outer influence than my own personal effort, that when the body is left, I merge in Paramatma. Today we have seen the glory of the Prabhasa Kshetra, and that Somnath Bhagavan, the 12 minutes of today's topic was so powerful. Today and yesterday in our Skanda Purana. So all these are interconnected. The final idea is through the Chirakala Abhyasa, we are stuck up in the Stula Deha consciousness. I am consciousness, now conditioned by Stula Deha. When we decondition it, we become pure self. In between stages, I am the Jiva with all my samskaras, etc., which is urging me, forcing me again and again to identify the Stula Deha. Let me be careful. Only to exhaust those samskaras, I will live at the body level. I will not allow the new ones to form. These are all the higher knowledges. When we get convinced and start doing, we too become the yogis going beyond the body. For that, the information gathering, gaining the knowledge, these are the stages. We are in the first stage. सुन रहे हम समाचार का इकट्ठा कर. When this becomes our knowledge, when we become convinced about it, when we start practically doing the things, that for the body's survival, what's required, that much I give. Beyond that, I only live the life at the mind level, through my devotions, through my prayers. I live at the intellectual level, through analyzing Satya, Satya, Nitya, Nitya. I'm not concerned about the body only. Like that, for many, many lives when I live, then Deha, Bhautika, Tadatmyata, we go beyond. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल ऐसी एक स्थिति है, वो इस देह में रहने की स्थिति से बढ़िया है और उसको पाने से इन सब से मुक्ति है. ये सब कन्विक्शन हमको होना है, isn't it? As when we are continuing, they all will happen. Next one is what? Yatha swapne, yatha dirgha kala dhyane. For this above thing, that adi bhautikata buddhi through practice gets firmly rooted. The 4-5 examples Mother Saraswati is giving. Yatha swapne. Like in the swapna, it is vrutyatmaka deha only. But do you feel it so when we are in dream? That swapna mein deha vrutyatmaka hai. That we say when we wake up. But in the dream, it appears to be as real as this Stula Sharira for a Jagrat Purusha in the Jagrat Avastha. Isn't it? That's why in the Swapna also, when the stomach ache happens, it doesn't mean, अरे stomach तो है ही नहीं, तो स्थूल है stomach, ये तो सूक्ष्म हूँ मैं स्वप्न में, ये stomach को ache होना ही नहीं चाहिए, ऐसे नहीं होता हो. We really suffer the stomach ache as if the stomach is real. Just like that explanation, that Ativahika Sharira is felt like Adibhautika in Swapna. Though it is Ativahika, but felt as Adibhautika. Then Dirgha Kala Dhyane. When the Dirgha Kala on anything also, when you do the Dhyana, Yathacha Sati Sankalpe, when we are in the Sankalpa Sthiti, Yatha Gandharva Pattane, in that Gandharva Loka, Ativahika through practice, seen as the Stula. In the same way, this Stulata is established in exact experience only because of Abhyas. Catch this point. And that Abhyas has created so many strong impressions for us to take ourselves to be the Sharira only, not other than that, not beyond it. Clear? अब देखो एक बढ़िया सा प्रश्न from our mother Leela, as if to our Saraswati ji, ki how I will go beyond this Stula Sharira Tadatma and reach to the Ativahika Deha Tadatma. Ativahika Deha means only for transactional purpose, a subtle individuality with Upadis is there. When the same thing gets more grossified, it is Stula Sharira. Even that subtle also dissolved, then I am one with the Stula Sukshma Deha Rahita Kevala Chit Swarupa Paramatma Tattva. So that Chidakasha, Chittakasha, Bhutakasha. In the Chittakasha, the Chitta Jagat. Among the Chitta Jagat is one Chitta Sukshma Sharira. With that we identify. That's called Ativahika Deha. In the Chittakasha, the Bhutakasha projected. In the Bhutakasha, through Panchamahabhuta and their Panchikarana, so many Rupanamatmaka Vastus are projected. One of them is the Sharira. With that we identify. And the Sharira comes to us. We are forced to enter into that. We get identified with it because in our Ativahika Deha, such type of urges are there called as desires, backed by the Vasanas. When all of them are exhausted, I have nothing to experience through the Sharira. Therefore, I am not given the Stula Sharira. I am not required. That's why to her question, how can I go beyond this Stula Sharira, for that matter, even Sukshma, and go to identify even not with Ativahika Deha, directly with Chittakasha, Chidakasha. The mother gives the answer, and this topic will be covered time and again through the entire text hundreds of times. And we studied this in all other Upanishads, Prakranam Granthas too. What she says is, Vasana tanavam nunam yadate sthiti meshyati tadati vahiko bhavaha punah eshyati dehake. So Vasana tanavam nunam yada te sthiti meshyati. When your vasanas to be with the Stula Sharira and to experience the Bhautika Jagat, the Stula Sharira, When all those vasanas, through your intellectual knowledge, yoga abhyasa, and various prakriyas, when we totally eliminate them, that's called as removal of vasana is the topic. Vasana tanavam is a shabda. Many times will be used in this text. Yaad rakh lo. Tanavam matlab tanu karanam. Tanu karanam matlab in English thinning it. That in English word thinning came from the tanu karana of the Sanskrit only. So sthula karanam is making it fat or large. Tanu karanam is making it thin. So vasana tanavam noonam yada te sthiti meshati. So when you make your vasanas atyanta sukshma and sthula vasanas of, as we said, wanting to enjoy the world with sthula sharira, they all when you eliminate tada, that time ativayika bhavaha, your original state of being the ativayika, punah eshyati dehake. You will have your identity with the ativayika deha. There is no adibhautikata. There are, in fact, no these struggles of birth, death, old age, disease, competition, comparison. शरीर संबंधी सारा झमेला खत्म हो जाएगा. And there are many yogis after taking the stula shariras even to serve the world, having understood the limitations, they just remain in the sukshma rupa only for eternity or long time. That way only, whoever are accessible by their yoga sadhanas to their instructions, they keep giving instruction. Like Vyasa Bhagavan, he is eternally there. Very rarely he takes some stula rupa to give darshan to others. But to all of us, you and I, he doesn't need to take stula rupa. But when we pray, he answers. When we tune, we receive those blessings. That's the beauty in Hinduism, Sanatana Dharma, that none of these 140 crores may, matlab, except very countable on fingers, none of us have seen either Ganapati or Parvati or Shiva or anybody. But every day we do puja, every day do we worship. अब कोई पूछा कभी देखा है क्यों क्योंकि we don't want the Lord to come to the Adi Bhautika Rupa. We know he is in the Parabrahma Rupa. We know he is the Ativahika Rupa to listen to our questions and answer us. That's the meaning of what we have studied in our Upanishad class in the morning, what we have studied in that chanting of the mantra today. The Vishnu mantra we have chanted no today about the Vishnu Sahasranaam में जो भीष्माचार्य ने कहा कि अनादि निधनम birth and deathless, that is, he is pure consciousness. Vishnum sarva vyapnoti, he is also consciousness. But sarva loka maha ishwaram, at that time he is in the ativayika rupa as Ishwara with his Maya Shakti is in his control. Loka adhyaksham, that is also ativayika rupa. है ना अनादि निधनम विष्णुम सर्वलोकमहेश्वरम लोकाध्यक्षम सर्व दुःखादिको भवेत. When you do the stuti to him, we go beyond the stula sharira, therefore stula sharira dukhas bhave. That is the indicated meaning there. Or in the Upanishad, tam Ishwaranam paramam maheshwaram tam devatanam cha paramam cha daivatam. In this, Parabrahma is told either as substratum of the Parabrahma or the Ishvara with his ativahikata, with his Maya Shakti under his control. Same thing what said there in different language here, Vaashishthaji or Saraswati are telling. So the Stula Deha, the Ativayika Deha, then Chidrupta. Chidrupa is ultimate, pure consciousness. So the Vasanas, when we keep on reducing, then the Stula Deha Tadatmya Khatam hota hua, we find ourselves to be Ativayika Jiva, wherein with the Deha only minimum things we do. Such people do not take their body anywhere for any bhoga, any entertainment. ये कहीं बिठा के रखते हैं, body is stationed there. Inside with the Ativayika Deha, they do their inner journey and sadhana and reach to the self. Even after reaching the self, they may with that Ativayika Deha even serve the world if it's required. These are all there. How many Mahatmas, yogis seated in the Himalayan caves physically with their own Ativayika Deha, they are blessing all of us. And just like you see, stay in your place in India, in your house, and in your mind you pray. Your children who are there in America are there, so they should be happy. Today is a birthday. I wish that they enjoy the birthday today. आप कहते हो ना, who is doing this? Your Ativayika mind. If you are powerful enough in your intentions, your love towards them, your tuning, then this Desha Kala doesn't affect. These prayers will go in some or the other form to affect them. है ना. Nowadays देखो आप इंडिया से वहां पैसे भेजो, इन बिटवीन वाले कन्वर्ट द रूपीज इनटू दोस पर्टिकुलर करेंसी एंड दैट दे रिसीव इट. होता है नहीं? अभी यू अंडरस्टैंड इट, दिस इज ऑल्सो सेम. So today we are understanding that Adi Bhautikata is only because of practice. By reducing the vasanas from Adi Bhautika to Ativayika Sthiti, we can reach. In Adi Bhautikata only, more and more diseases, problems, body related samasyas will be there. By the way, but here the point is, Leela wants to go to see that Loka, that is possible with Ativayika. Now you are with Adi Bhautika Deha. So do that yoga sadhana and reduce, come to that level, then we go together. Anytime you take as much time you want. But she's a devotee, she's already in yoga sadhana, mother's blessings are there. Therefore, for her it happens quickly. And like today in our Bradaranyaka Upanishad Parayanam, to that Yajnavalkya, he one by one, the great Jignasus came and asked the questions. To all of them he was going on answering, they being in such a subtle level, एक बार सुनते उनको जवाब मिल जा रहा है. Like Arjuna, such a beautiful heart. एक बार भगवान कह रहे हैं तो is getting answers. Like Parikshit ji, such a wonderful devotee और साधका श्रोता, तो एक बार सुनते ही उनको बात समझ में आ रहा है. Therefore, Uttamadhikaris. So to the Uttama-adhikaris, when the Guru tells immediately, they do the sadhana and they get the result also. Leela being Uttama-adhikari, Mother Saraswati, when she told her to do the sadhana of yoga abhyas and get out of body tadatmya and come to Ativayika Sthiti, to travel with her to see that Brahmana, Brahmani Loka, she could do. That is the Saramsh. अब गए ना भैया ब्राह्मण ब्राह्मणी लोक में. सो यहां तक हम आए. अब नाउ लीला इज आस्किंग अनदर क्वेश्चन कि व्हेन आई थ्रू माय प्रैक्टिस और एनी योगी goes beyond sthula deha tadatmya and comes to ativayika sthiti, is that the sthula deha alone merges in the ativayika sthiti, dissolves in the ativayika sthiti, or one reaches to ativayika deha tadatmya and then the sthula deha remains as it is, or it dies? इसका क्या होगा इस स्थूल शरीर का? See that subtlety of the question. More subtle is the answer. Answer is this much. Catch. Whenever there was the sthula sharira, it is only through kalpana it is there. Because of the kalpana, the sukshma appeared as sthula. The appeared thing cannot be discussed as it will die. So it won't die. Then what will happen? It has merged in its earlier status, the original state of ativayika sthiti. Yesterday we gave example. For the snake to die or to be removed, it has to be real first of all. It's only kalpana. The rope is realized. In the same way, इस स्थूल देह का मरने का सवाल ही नहीं होता. जो सत्य है ही नहीं है, उसका मरने की क्या बात कर रहे हो आप? That is a very, see, when we go on exposing our intellects to these subtle knowledges, our notions that the body is real, it's becoming old, it will die, ये सारे बकवास लगते हैं हमको. And not that is only one body going through like that. Every moment, millions of bodies happening like that. From the beginning of creation, it is going on happening. इसको क्या पतंगड़ बनाते हो? It's only a play going on now. The stula appearing as sukshma appearing as stula and going back. अव्यक्त आदीनि व्यक्त मध्यानि अव्यक्त निधनानि तत्र का परिदेवना का परेशान हो रहे? This is the way. Only through knowledge that we get freed from the problems of the gross, and the Vedanta alone gives that knowledge. Scriptures alone give us that. That is why through Shastra Adhyana, by gaining the knowledge, getting out of the ignorance, and ignorance created illusions, that we are freed from all problems. There is no other solution. In other cases, the problem is shifted from one to the other. It's not eradicated. Only through Tattva Jnana, Shashwat Rupena, Samasyas go away. Now you understand the meaning of it, which we are saying from the day one. Same thing will be told even next 20 years. But every time our understanding becomes either subtler or deeper or convincing. So, what is the mother's explanation? Leela's prashna. Leela uvacha ativahika dehatva pratyaye ghanatam gate tam avapnoteyam dehaha dasham aho vinashyati. So ativahika dehatva pratyaya. Pratyaya means knowledge. Ativahika dehatva pratyaya means the knowledge that now I am the subtle body. Ganatangate, when it becomes stronger and deeper, when it becomes stronger and deeper and solidified, what is that? That I am the Ativahika Deha, I am the Sukshma Deha. We are all Sukshma Jivi actually. Sukshma Deha. Then Tam Apnotayam Deha. What about this Stula Deha? That goes and merges in that. The Tam Apnotayam Deho Dasham. It reaches to that Dasha. Aho Vinashyati. क्या ये मर जाएगा? What happens to the Sharira? Means a yogi who has reached to either Atma Sthiti or I am Jiva Sthiti. What happens to his Stula Sharira? Will it die immediately or will it merge? Or how he looks at that body? This question is like Sita Pragnasya Kavasha Samadhistasya. Like that only, how a Jnani looks at his Stula Sharira. Will it die or merge? The answer to this is so beautiful. Many a times we listened, but with different conditioned mind, we might have not caught it. But here, in this sequence of thought, understanding this becomes little better, little easier. है ना? Answer is what? Ki, the notion that I am Stula Sharira is gone. Because Stula Sharira isn't a notion, it's only projection. Is always Sukshma Sharira. Sukshma Sharira also is a notion, is only Chidakasha always. So the notions born out of ignorance have gone away because of the knowledge. There is no question of there it is dying, etc. That is the answer. See, the whole universe is nothing but Brahman always. Misinterpreted by ignorance as the world. That misinterpretation because of ignorance is replaced by the knowledge. Misunderstanding is changed by the correct understanding. That's all. That will happen. ये शरीर का मरना विरना ये सब कॉन्सेप्ट है, कोई मरता नहीं. Because of the Sukshma Prarabdha Karma, the Pancha Mahabhutas came together to form this body. And we are given it. When that is over, it goes back. उसमें मरना विरना का क्या बातें कर रहे हो? But because all of us talk in that language, it gathered reality. Like you go into the places like Uttarakashi ashramas, where every day कोई ना कोई सन्यासी मरते वहाँ. And they don't even bother only. Because they never looked at that sannyasi as deha. They themselves don't look at themselves as deha. They know his sadhaka is at this level, he reached in this body. The body is kicked. He continues his journey. वो मस्ती में ताली बजाते हुए उनको ले जाके गंगा में डाल देते. देखो, there's nothing called that. They don't even bother what you made death. They know they talk already that they're already dead only. Because स्थूल देह का तादा तो वो लोग पार कर चुके, आतिवाहिक स्थिति में हो. In that jiva bhava, that strong ignorance of the self is being replaced by the tattva jnana. So they study, they listen to the class, they contemplate, they again and again pull their identity away from Sula Sukshma into the Atma Vastu. They are so busy in that. इसी को कहते हैं निधिध्यासन. They are in that nididhyasana sthiti. Shravana Manana pak chuka hai, so those people will be given the opportunity to go and stay in such places where the chance for nididhyasana is more. And those who are not interested in nididhyasana, nor manana, nor even Shravana, they are only busy in the Dehatadhatmya and Bhoga Vidyatadhatmya. They are in the towns and cities and busy worlds with so much of market, so much of Bhoga Vastus. अब मेरा दिमाग ऐसा है तो मैं इधर ही फंसा रहूंगा. It is like that. So, what will happen to this Stula Deha? Will it merge with the Ativahika or will it die? Question. Devi Uvacha. Beautiful answer. Yadasti nama tatraiva nasha nasha kramo bhavet vastuto yacha nastyeva nasha syatasya kidrusha. See, yadasti nama. कोई वस्तु है, if something is there, तत्र एव, in case of that only, नाश अनाश क्रम भवेत्, that the discussion of it will die or it will not die, it will destroy, it will not destroy, that will come. वस्तुतो यच्च नास्ति एव, in reality that which is never there, tasya nasha syat कीदृशः. What are you talking about its nasha? If something is real, you talk about its perishing. When it is not real, how do you talk about its perishability? Therefore, this Stula Sharira is not real. Therefore, there's no perishing in it. But people are dying. Dying कोई नहीं बोलता, dead and gone, मर गया. The jiva inside has gone. The body with Panchamahabhutas is made, it is going back. See, strengthen this thought. The concept of death, therefore fear of death goes away. And add to this knowledge that as these people I had in this life body, in the other body also I'll have equally suitable people to me to exhaust my vasanas. When you have this knowledge, even these attachments go away. Half of the dukkha is because of our attachment with the people around. And then add to that, I am as a jiva with my ignorance shifting from one body to the other, only seeking the reality. Now hold on to this knowledge. Already you will plan in the next body wherever I am put. I am hopeful that by God's grace I will get opportunity of those spiritual sadhanas only to realize myself. This plan you will be having. और ऐसा बंदा तो कहते जल्दी मारो मेरे को मत मारो तो जल्दी ले जाओ. These circumstances are not suitable to me. If God comes and tells me, hey, स्वामी यहाँ तुम्हारे साधन का ठीक नहीं है और वहां तुमको ले जाऊंगा अच्छा होगा, मैं कहता हूँ ले जाओ. Because my purpose is to do sadhana and evolve, no? Isn't it? That's how as we grow in our right knowledge and its conviction through the study of Shastras, our attitudes, orientations, everything change. We become optimistic. We become, totally different person with different outlook. Not that with body we identify and we suffer all this. See this state of Mother Saraswati's teachings to Leela, and Leela is catching that you are talking about the death of body. If it is real, it will die. See, यद अस्ति नाम तत्र एव नाश अनाश क्रमो भवेत्. If something is asti real, उसी का बात हो सकता है मरा ना मरा. वस्तु तो एच नास्ति एव, जो है ही नहीं in reality. नाशस्य तस्य कीदृशः, what talking you are about its नाश. Example, common example of our Vedanta. Rajvam sarpabhrame nashte सत्यबोधवशात् सुते सर्पो न नष्टः उन्नष्टवा इति एवं कैवसा कथा. सी देखो क्या ब्यूटीफुल entire Mandukya Upanishads Vaivarta Prakranam Vaitatya Prakarana put in one shloka. Here by Saraswati Mata. Gaudapadacharya is a staunch follower of this Yoga Vaashishtha Ramayana. It looks like all the thoughts here you can see them there. See that Rajvam in that rope, Sarpa Brahme Nashte. The delusion that it is a Sarpa is gone. The delusion is gone. How? Satya Bodha Vashat. Because of the knowledge and experience of the Sat Vastu, that is the rope. Hey Sute, oh my dear daughter. So the Satya Bodha ho gaya, ki rope is rope, it's apprehended. Then Sarpa Brahma is gone. At that time, what happened to that Sarpa? Sarpa na nashtaha unnashtaha. If that Sarpa died or not died, iti evam kaivasa katha. That kathanam, that discussion, has it got any meaning? तब अब तो रस्सी पता चल गया, पता नहीं साहब मर गया कि और दूसरी जगह गया है ना. This snake has gone now to occupy another serpent, another rope to delude other people, है ना. थर्ड फ्लोर में वो सांप देखा उनको रस्सी में. So that person has realized that it is a rassi. Now the snake has gone to the fourth floor where another rope is there to want to occupy that and delude the people there, frighten there. Or the moment rope is known, immediately the serpent died there and you are seeing the dead serpent. Is there any meaning to that discussion? Ki whether the serpent gone somewhere or died? Why? Because Sarpa is Brahma. It is Kalpita. It has neither birth nor death. That is why the only two things in this world. One is Paramatma, second Jagat. Paramatma is Satya, Jagat is Bhranti. Therefore, न सत्य परमात्मा का जन्म मरण होता है, न भ्रांत जगत का जन्म मरण होता है. Catch this knowledge. Jagat appears and disappears, and the Paramatma remains as he is always. That Paramatma Tattva we are. Apprehend it, identify with it, settle in it. There you are. ये है ब्यूटी. सो रज्वाम सर्प भ्रमे नष्टे सत्यभोजवशात् हे सुते सर्पः न नष्टः उन्नष्टवा इति एवं का एव सा कथा. व्हाट इज द डिस्कशन दैट सर्प मर गया कि कहाँ गया? explanation. Yatha satya parigyanat rajvam sarpa na drishyate. You know, when the satya parignana of the rajju happens, the sarpa is never seen to be existing at all. Tatha, in the same way, ativahika jnanat. When I realize myself to be the ativahika, na drishyate adibhautikaha, then adibhautika is never seen. Because it's only kalpita and the ativahika. Ativahika pe kalpite adibhautika. When I reach to adibhautika ativahika sthiti, it's like apprehending the rope, and rope as rope. Just like when the rope is seen, there's no more snake. So too, when the ativahika identity happens, the grossness disappears. So, na drishyate adibhautika. It ceases to exist there. It doesn't get destroyed. It was never there. It was kalpita. Then the kalpana goes away. So the ativahika kalpita as adibhautika. Ativahika realized, the kalpita goes away. The snake rope kalpita as sarpa. When the rope is realized, then sarpa is never there. That is realized. In that realization, the sarpa death वगैरह वो भाषा नहीं होता उधर. That language is never spoken. This is what happens. So kalpana pinivarteta kalpita yadi kenachito sa shila samapastaiva yani hasti kadachana. Now what about the position of that kalpana? Oh, this mantra bodily lifted by Bhagavan Gaudapadacharya and has put it in his Mandukya Karika. See, there the shloka is Vikalpo vinivarteta kalpito yadi kenachit. Upadeshad ayam vadaha jnate dvaitam na vidyate or na drishyate. That is the shloka taken from here. Kalpana api nivarteta kalpita yadi kenachit. Even that kalpana also is not so real that we have to go on holding on to kalpana. वो भी real नहीं है. So example is kalpana api nivarteta kalpita yadi kenachit. Even that kalpanas goes away when the reality is apprehended. Sa shila samapasta eva ya neha asti kadachana. So that mental projected shila, which we talked in 5-6 shlokas back, just disappears when the truth is realized. So here the truth is finally Chidakasha. In the realization of Chidakasha, the Ativahika, Adibhautika, both of them are found never to be there. Found to be never there. Okay. Therefore, parampare parapurnam idam dehadikam sitam iti satyam vayam bhadre pashyamo na vipashyasi. So, param pare para purnam idam dehadikam stitam. In that purna, all pervading Chidakasharupi Parabrahma, all these dehadis are kalpita. It is satyam. This is the truth. Vayam bhadre pashyamaha. So we see that reality only. Now vipashyasi, you are still in your ignorance and with all your strong notions strongly there. Therefore, you are not able to see that. Therefore, a person who has realized the self, for him, for the vyavahara sake, like Upadeshadayam Vadaha, the Adibhautika, then Ativahika Dehas may present themselves as per their sankalpa for the work to be done. They don't give reality to them, nor they identify with that, never they become jiva, nor they suffer. देखो गुरु वशिष्ठ जी, आपने उपासना की है तो वशिष्ठ या व्यास जी आए हैं. अब आप प्रश्न पूछोगे तो जवाब देवेंगे. So when he is giving answer, he is giving the vocal cords. So therefore, Adibhautika Deha he has got. And behind that, he has got Ativahika Deha in which the knowledge is there, which is communicating to you through those words. So Ativahika bhi hai. You understood? So what is that expression? So at that time, that great Jivan Mukta invoked Ativahika Adibhavika for this transaction's sake. Used it and then he dissolves it. जैसे कोई औजार हम निकाल के काम करके उसको बाद में अपने पेटी में लगा देते हैं, like that. That's what happening. No, Saraswati Mata is invoked from that pure conscious self. The Saraswati Mata ness came as a response to the upasana of Leela. Then as a question asked by her, that Saraswati Mata-ness of the Brahman is answering. Once that's over, that Adi Bhautika appearance, Ativahika appearance, they both go. What remains is Chidakash. What remains is Chidakash. Chidakash is ultimate truth. Hold on to that. Okay. Then, from the first time creation, whatever the Kalpana, Kalanas are going on, that is keeping on happening. Therefore, don't ask question only about all this. Kalpita Srishti, just discover the Adhisthana Brahma. Your all questions are answered, problems are solved, limitations are transcended, bondages are liberated, removed, and you are liberated. Now, Leela will ask a question. Ekasmin eva samshante dikkalade avibhagini vidyamane pare tatve kalana avasaraha kutaha. What a beautiful question. So, ekasmin eva, in one, that one without second, samshante, which is eternally peaceful, dikkalada vibhagini, and that pure Brahman in which deshagala differentiations were never there. It is already state of liberation. Vidyamane pare tatve. In that, why this whole Srushti Kalpana has happened? This is the question. So the answer for that, you are seeing the Srushti. You are giving it reality. Therefore, for you, the question is valid. You are seeing the Srushti. You are calling it is real. Therefore, that question, that why in the Paramatma Tattva, this Jagat, after all, should be Kalpita. And मैं उसमें फंस रहा हूं. ये क्वेश्चन तुमको होता है जो जगत को देख के सत्य मान रहे हो. Then what is the answer? In the Parabrahman, Srushti is never Kalpita. देखो, जैसा हमारा स्टेट ऑफ क्वेश्चन एंड एवोल्यूशन होता है, वैसा हमारे ऋषि मुनि लोग हमें इवॉल्व कराने के लिए दे कीप गिविंग अस sublime answers. This discussion will have tomorrow. Yeah, from short mantra. How many are there in this? Up to 79. Uh-huh. Let us see if it can be done tomorrow. We'll do. नहीं तो और एक दिन ले लेंगे. तो कल पूरा करते हुए 10-12 5 श्लोक बचे तो कर कर परसों we do the Vijnanabhyasa Varnana of the 21st, 22nd chapter. How many mantras in it? Yeah, 32 are there. 33 uska parayan karke we can do the beginning of it day after. So come every day, give your mind and ears and intellect, ears to listen, mind to have that faith, Shraddha Bhakti, intellect to understand, and then feel these are the possibilities. So Chidakasha ultimate reality, Chittakasha and Chitta Jagat is Ativahika Sthiti, Bhutakasha and Bhuta Jagat is Grass Sthiti. These grass and subtle are Kalpita on the substrate. Why it is Kalpita? Because substratum is still remaining. Like why ornaments are Kalpita on the gold? Because gold still is remaining even when you call it as ornament. And two cannot be there things. Therefore, one has to be real. If one is real, another has to be Kalpita. So with all the Jagat, with Anantakoti, Rupa Nama, still Adhisthana Sachit Brahma is there as it is or not? Yeah. If that is as it is there, then what is the question of all these things? It has to be Kalpana. Not doing this is called ignorance. Taking this reality, the world as real, is called delusion. Getting caught up in it with Ragadesha is called samsara. And suffering is called bandhana. Only through this right knowledge, all this can go away. And like the doctors, how much ever they treat the body, one after the diseases will come, no? When the Vedanti teaches you are not the body, the whole disease is gone. I am not the body, why I am worried? देखो ये permanent solution है कि नहीं? Every time I get the body, I say I am the body, then the diseases will come. I have to run to the doctor. When I realize I am the Ativahika, and for the sake of transaction, every time I given the body, I use it for the work, but I don't suffer. A permanent solution. And above all that, the Chidakasha, when I realize the pure consciousness behind the whole world, which is the theme of our next text, Tattvasima Vakya, even this Ativahika also is not required. If at all it is there, it is neither for my sadhana, nor for my realization, nor for my samsara, it is to serve the world. And like Puja Gurudev, they have the Ativahika Deha to serve the world. They don't need it for their own sadhana, they are already realized. Ativahikam is beyond the Stula Sharira, the inner Sukshma personality. ओके, सूक्ष्म देह को आतिवाहिक देह कहते हैं. There the individuality and all these antakarana ityadi are in the atyanta sukshma rupa. In that, measurement of sizes won't work. That's why that jiva with his upadhis, if he enters the elephant, with the entire elephant's body is identifying. Same one when he enters into the ant, with the ant body is identifying. And that shows that the antakarana, sukshma sharira, is neither small or big. It cannot be quantified like that. That's called sukshmata. Subtlety means that which cannot be measured in the gross measurements. Isn't it? In the same way, the higher level, why elephant, even dinosaurs, we can identify with. Or entire Surya Gola, Chandra Gola, one can identify. But Jiva किसी से भी तादात्म्य कर सकता है, because he is not an object स्थूला. Anyway, these things we'll see tomorrow. ओम पूर्णमदः शांति शांति शांति. श्री रामचंद्र भगवान की जय, वशिष्ठ भगवान की जय, सरस्वती माता की जय, लीला माता की जय. धन्यवाद. 10 minutes, let us study our Vakya Vritti also. 20 minutes.